well, good morning, and how are you, faithful? Captain Niner coming to you with your Captain and Coffee morning report for March 26, 2025. I know I didn't have one yesterday, but to be quite honest, there was literally nothing much to talk about. And honestly, there's only barely more today. I mean, like I said, we're going to be going through the grubs of everything the next couple of weeks up until probably about 10 days before the draft. There's going to be nothing really going on, and I kind of find it hard to come on here and just beat the same horse that everybody else is over and over with content. Because, like I said, I know I'm obviously a pretty small content creator. I'm trying to grow it with you guys, but I just don't feel the need to do the same thing over and over and over. Because to me, that's just kind of a waste of time and energy, kind of a thing. But I figured I had to get on today, so we'll do a little bit of some of the content that everybody else is doing. So let's go ahead and get into it. So in one of my first mock drafts that I did yesterday, and honestly, one of my favorite mock drafts, I did get a couple of trades in here, and they didn't show up for some reason. They were in the original slide, and then my computer did its reset thing, and then, well, it just went away. So I don't remember exactly what I traded, but I do know that we did trade down from 43 to 55, and we had a couple of other picks in between. But first and foremost, Armand Menbu fell to us. And honestly, with the way things are going, especially with the Giants signing Russell Wilson, and how about that Giants quarterback room? They've got Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Giovanni. I can't remember the guy, the real Italian guy, the guy that we were clowning on last year because he was like everybody's stereotypical Italian type thing. So they've got quite the quarterback room going on there. Anyways, so Armand Membu, I honestly at this point I don't think he's falling to us. I think he's going to get swooped up earlier. I saw this by some people. He might even get picked up early by the Patriots. So this is probably, like I said, this was done yesterday afternoon before that trade, and so it's already outdated. Then at 55, we took Tyleik Williams, who I honestly think is a better defensive tackle in this draft than a lot of people are giving him credit for. Honestly, if he's available at 43, and when we picked on that, excuse me, I would not mind picking him up there. I think, like I said, I think he is a good defensive end. At 75, I took Harold Fenner, my personal favorite tight end in this draft. I do not think it's going to be either Loveston or Warren. I think Fenn is better than most of them. Then we got Wyatt Millum at 90, tackle. I think of all the linemen that are available right now, he's probably he has a low floor, or excuse me, he has a higher floor than some of these guys, but his ceiling is not as high. Like, I think he might be more pro ready right now than a few other guys, but I also think he's not going to improve much more than some of these other guys, like a Membu or a Shelton or a Blake Belton from North Carolina. I think some of those guys aren't quite ready, but they have a much higher ceiling than he does. Let's pull that up. All right, then we go to Josiah Stewart, edge, Michigan. Obviously, we need edge help, and I think he'd be a good addition. Savion Williams, a good quick wide receiver out of TCU. 113, Demetrius Knight, probably arguably top 3 linebacker in this draft. I think the best linebacker in this draft is obviously Jaheed Campbell. Demetrius Knight's probably right there, right after him. Probably if there was someone like Chris Paul, Jeffrey Pasta, those kind of guys. CJ West, defensive tackle from Indiana. Everybody loves this kid. This kid's got a motor and a half running for him. What's going on over here on Facebook? Okay. Then we also have Bishul Tuten, running back from Virginia Tech. If you want to see somebody just run people over and whatnot, this is your guy. This is going to be kind of almost your Jordan Mason style runner replacement. Very tough guys, really good in zone, really good at getting yards after contact, all that kind of stuff. After that, we got Kobe Bryant, one of the best cover guys, and especially in the later rounds. Both Kobe Bryant and Melo, I can't remember his last name, the other corner from Kansas, great cornerback pair. Honestly, we're gonna have a Jayhawk on this team. between Kobe Bryant, Logan Thomas, their offensive tackle, and then Melo, their other cornerback. We are going to get a Jayhawk on this team. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm willing to put money there will be a Jayhawk on this team. And then we got Aeneas Pebbles, another defensive tackle from Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech puts out great college, great pros for years now. Malachi Moore, safety from back down in Alabama. Upton Stout, quarterback from Western Kentucky, which one of our viewers the other day got us into when me and Ansho were doing the 49er Media Captain Show. Started looking more into him after that. And I can't remember his name, moves to toes, but he's got some really good qualities to him. Like especially we take him number 227th, worth the pick, 100%. Luke Lachey, tight end, Iowa. I love everything Iowa. Y'all know that. I love, this is even before Kittle and everything like that. I'm an old Iowa, as somebody who's wrestled for 17 years. I love Iowa. I love everything to do, because Iowa's like the mecca of wrestling, if you will. So I've always been, I watch, and obviously the wife is from Iowa. I watch a lot of Iowa. I like Luke Lachey. Reminds me a lot of George Kittle. And obviously, we don't know he's going to come out and be like that. But his game at Iowa is very closely mirrors what George Kittle did at Iowa. And then to round out, we have numbers 252. We got Q Robinson, edge out of Alabama. Because we needed some more edge. So that's my draft, one of my drafts. So I'm going to have to redo it, obviously, because I don't think this is how it's going to fall. Well, hopefully they'll change the numbers and everything on these draft boards, and we'll be able to redo the draft. All right, next on the list, this handsome young man, Tanner Mordecai, has changed his number from number 4 to number 14. Number 14, obviously, formerly worn by Ricky Pearsall, who is now wearing number 1. And so Mordecai is changing to 14, which was his number in college. All right, and this is from Dinah Reese, content reporter on the Niners from The Athletic, on the never-ending saga of will we or will we not trade Brandon Ayuk. The 49ers have incentive to move Brandon Ayuk before the April 1st payday. Again, that is before. Rossini said on the Scoop City podcast, they've gotten some calls about him. We know that they signed him to a new contract last summer. We all know the drama that came with said contract. It's a $22.8 million roster bonus here, and that's obviously on the 1st. So there's some chatter that perhaps they're going to move him. There's chatter that there's teams interested. But according to her, I don't get the sense that that's a reality, Rossini said. I'm sure the 49ers would like to do it because of their finances. I don't expect anything to happen. I've said this, is that with Brandon Ayuk's injury, we don't necessarily know what Ayuk we're getting back. I wouldn't be opposed to trading him depending on what we got back, simply because, again, we don't know what version of Ayuk we're getting back. Are we going to get the one pre-injury or the one after injury? If we're getting the one pre-injury, obviously you do not trade someone like BA. But it's so unknown coming off such a serious injury. We don't even know when he's going to be back, honestly. If we got a 3rd round or better for Ayuk, I would seriously consider it. I would still probably not take, because it's not going to be what's best for the team next year. 2025 for BA is going to be such a crap shot with what's going on. Now, 2026, if you told me he was not playing all next year, and because he needed another year to rehab his leg before he came back 100%, then this would be I would have no problem saying, okay, just go ahead, take the red shirt year. We'll see you in 2026. But considering that they still want him to come back next year, we don't know what kind of, is he going to be ready? Is he mentally and physically going to be ready? I don't know, and no one can say they know. Now, don't anybody take that as I don't want Ayuk. I love Ayuk, and I was one of the people defending him getting paid when everybody else was dogging him, because now all of a sudden, like, oh, now he sucks because he got paid. No, good for you, man. You got your money. You got generational wealth for you and your family. Good damn job. But anyway, so yes, so unless it happens by the 1st, I don't see it's happening because of the cap hit. But I do understand, because if we move on from him, that saves us like $110 million over like the next couple of years. So it makes sense. All right, everybody, and as usual, please make sure to use the link in the description of this video to order your goat fuel. The goat is the energy drink backed and used by the goat himself, Jerry Rice. The link will save you 10% on anything that you buy, and also put some money in my hand so that everybody's happy. All right, everybody, as far as today, it's Wednesday. Probably nothing, and honestly, we've got huge thunderstorms and everything like that headed this way. So even if we were doing content, I'd probably cancel it because about the same time we'd go on the air is when these big thunderstorms are going to be hitting this the area around here. So it's a good chance I'm probably just not going to do anything at all for tonight. So that means the next time you see this pretty face will be tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon, me and Angela will be doing the 40 Media Captain Show. Until then, everybody kick Wednesday's ass. It's hump day. 5 for time.